अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय श्रीगौरप्रियमूर्तये श्रीमते भक्तिवल्लभा तीर्थगोस्वामिने नमः। पतितपावन परम करुणामय परमाराध्यतम शिल गुरुदेव नित्य लीला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद श्रील भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोस्वामी महाराज जी के श्रीपाद पद्म में असंख्य कोटि साष्टांग दंडवत प्रणाम करते हुए उनकी अहेतु की कृपा प्रार्थना करता हूँ। By the mercy of most revered Srila Gurudev, we have been discussing about the glories of the holy name. So, yesterday we discussed about how this young boy who was not ready to accept anything spoken by Srila Haridas Thakur, and who also criticized, offended Haridas Thakur as well as the other scholars there. As a result, what happened? He had leprosy on his body, and which slowly became the reason of him losing all his limbs like hands and fingers. But most importantly, the first thing which he lost is his nose, because he was complaining and then he was making the point that he will definitely cut off the nose of, chop the nose of Srila Haridas Thakur. So what happened? He at the end lost his own nose. So now everyone in the village, when they saw this, we all know people, they follow mostly miracles. When something like this happens, immediately they come up with a different kind of approach. So when they all saw this, they already have faith in Srila Haridas Thakur. Again, when they saw what has happened, they were so surprised, and then they all fell in the feet of Haridas Thakur and glorifying his glories. One can easily understand that Haridas Thakur did not take the misconduct of the Brahmin seriously, because he is a pure devotee. Pure devotees never take any such offenses of anyone. That is the speciality of the devotee. Devotee never takes offense. But how can the Lord tolerate this? It's not possible for the Lord to tolerate such vilification of his devotees. Not possible. How it is possible? If we criticize a devotee will not take revenge, because devotee will not wish to have something bad to happen. But definitely the Lord definitely desires, because devotee is ajata shatru. So for the devotee there is no enemy. Someone may consider devotee to be his enemy, but for devotee there is no enemy. That is the speciality of a Vaishnava. Vaishnava never has any enemy. When a Vaishnava feels someone is my enemy, that means he needs to grow. We have no enemy in the world unless our restless mind. The biggest enemy in the world is our own restless mind. So restless that it always have some stupid desires. It always have some other motives. It's never peaceful. So he is the only one who is our enemy. Other than the mind, we have no other enemy. So a person considers himself to be a Vaishnava and then feels someone is jealous of me, someone is envious of me, or maybe someone is opponent of me, then that person needs to grow up. Vaishnava's view is totally different, his vision is totally different. They are Ajata Shatru, they doesn't have any enemy. So others may consider them to be their enemy, but Vaishnavas never consider anyone as their enemy. So when you don't have an enemy, then whose offenses we have to think about? Who is the person? So what kind of offense we have to think of? There is no offense, absolutely no offense. So now Haridas Thakur and a pure devotee is so busy in his own sadhana. A pure devotee is so busy in his prayers to the Lord that he is least bothered about any other person. The Lord is least bothered about anything. The devotee is least bothered about anything because his attention is not deviated. He is one pointed and one pointed in the lotus feet of the Lord and in his loving devotional service, but not onto this material world or not onto those things which are happening in this material world. So that's why whatever happened because of the foolishness of this Brahmin boy, it has happened. But Haridas Thakur did not take it in an offensive way. It is okay, but the Lord could not tolerate. Samoham sarva bhuteshu namye dveshyosti na priya. I am equal to everyone. I have to make it very clear that I am equal to everyone. Everyone is equal to me. I don't discriminate. Name dveshyosti. No one is my enemy. Na priya. At the same time, no one is dear to me. Then, when a devotee surrenders to me, when a devotee surrenders to my lotus feet and just completely depend upon me, then how it is possible that I ignore my devotee? In general, I am equal to everyone, but in particular, whoever comes to me, whoever surrenders to me, whoever depends on me, I have to make sure that they are dear to me and I am dear to them. So I would prefer to perform all the activities for their pleasure only to give pleasure to the devotees. So that's why when someone offends my devotee, I am not going to forgive that person. Offense against the devotee is never pleasing the Supreme Lord. Lord is never pleased. What he does, devotees are always by nature forgiving and and hence ever willing to pardon the faults of and shortcomings of the ignorant. So they are always willing to forgive. So even before we make an offense in the lotus feet of the devotee, devotee has already forgiven us. Ordinary people can't do this, and an ordinary devotees also can't do this. Ordinary people, they can't even imagine. And the ordinary devotees also, they can't even imagine. So a very special devotee, one who is very dear to the Lord, can only do this. Not others has the capacity to do this. This is what we have to understand. They are always, like we can see Nityananda Prabhu, even his head was broken by the pot, but still he was there to bless Jagai and Madhai. He was there to bless Jagai and Madhai, and he blessed them and he saved them, both of them. So they never wish any sorrow to befall their opponents. So they never want their opponents to be in sorrow. They don't want give them any pain. But Bhagavan in his very essence never endures even the slightest attack or on his loving devotees. But the Lord is not going to forgive. He is not going to tolerate even the slightest attack. What to talk of some big attacks? Even the slightest attack by anyone on the devotee of the Lord is also not tolerable by the Lord. He never hesitates to come down. Even he never hesitates that why would I go, it's not my protocol. Thus, that is not applicable in the case of Supreme Lord. For the devotee, the Lord wished to come by himself. That is the attachment a Lord has for his devotee. That is the affection the Lord has for his devotee. He can do anything for his devotee. So that's why we can't say that he is not going to come, because Lord doesn't hesitate. There is no hesitation in the Lord to come down for rescuing his devotees or doing any other act that can control the situation. So he just comes, that's all. Like he did it in the case of Prahlad Maharaj. What he was doing, he appeared in the middle of the assembly from the pillar. Stambhe sabhayam. Stambhe means that pillar, iron like pillar. Sabhayam, in the assembly. There was a pillar in the assembly and he just appeared from there. Pillar, what is the form of the pillar? Which form of deity it is? But to rescue the devotee and to keep the words of his beloved devotee. To protect the devotee is a different story. Only when the devotee, the word which came out from the lips of the devotee of the Lord, to make the words of his beloved devotee come true, the Lord appeared from the pillar. Hiranyakashipu was asking Prahlad, is your Lord is available in this pillar? Is he in this pillar? Prahlad Maharaj, without any hesitation, because devotee never hesitates, so the Lord never hesitates. If the devotee hesitates, then the Lord will hesitate. But when the devotee has no hesitation, he can do anything. He can beg for me, he can die for me, he can do whatever is needed or whatever is not needed, everything for me only. That is the nature of a devotee. That's devotee's nature. A devotee can do anything for the pleasure of Krishna, for the pleasure of the Lord. Then how come the Lord can't do anything? Lord also does everything, only for the pleasure of his devotee. So that's why devotee doesn't hesitate even to embrace death. So the Lord also doesn't hesitate to jump into the death and then to bring back the life of his beloved devotee. That is the biggest common thing which can be seen in the Lord and his beloved associates. So Hiranyakashipu, he just randomly asked Prahlad, looking onto the pillar, is your Lord exists in this pillar? And Prahlad says, yes, why not? I shall just break it right now and check. Let me kill your God first and then I shall kill you. Okay. Now Hiranyakashipu, he goes there to bring his club, but still he strikes with his hand. He strikes it so heavily that the pillar blasts into pieces, as if like the time of Pralay has already come. Hiranyakashipu, Brahma and all other demigods, they all came there to see what has happened. To everyone's surprise, in the middle of the assembly, splitting the pillar into two pieces, Lord Narsimdev has appeared there without any hesitation, and also in a very strange form. Kim Ascharya, what a kind of strange thing it is. Naram Rigendra Rupam. He appears like half man and half animal form. That kind of form the Lord has accepted. Half man and half lion form. That's why he is Narasingha. So they call him as Nrisingha, Narsimha, Narasingha, Narsingha. Like that they call him with quite a few different names. So ultimately what it is? Half man and half lion form. He took it for his beloved devotee Prahlad. So the Lord doesn't hesitate to appear to rescue his devotee, and the Lord doesn't hesitate to appear to serve his beloved devotee. How he was serving, we all know very well. When Haridas Thakur was beaten on the 22 markets, they asked Haridas Thakur, you can't chant the holy name. According to them, it's not a holy name. So you can't chant the name of them. You are worshipping them and you are the follower of a different cult. How come you follow them? It's not correct. We want this Gurudev. So he said, we can't allow you. We can't allow you to follow this. We can't allow you to do this. Haridas Thakur, he says, even if you take away my life, then also it's not possible for me to quit chanting this name of the Lord. They said, okay, so be it. And then they called a very dangerous, ferocious people, personalities, those who have no mercy, those who are very dangerous, merciless, ruthless people, and then gave them hunters, whip, and then they started beating Haridas Thakur in all 22 markets of Navadvip. What happened? He was being beaten very badly. Even after so much he was beaten, he was still very serious, very calm, very peaceful. He was completely very peaceful. And he was constantly engaged in chanting the holy name. But because he is the devotee of the Lord, he is praying to the Lord that, oh Lord, all these people are so ignorant. They don't know what they are doing. So please be kind to them. Please don't be harsh with them. So the Lord, he is in the mood to kill everyone, but he could not, because if I do, it is going to give pain to my devotee. Because he is purposely saying this, okay, don't kill them. He is purposely saying this. So what the Lord does, he just caught hold of Srila Haridas Thakur from his back, and then whatever it was beaten, everything went on the back of the Supreme Lord. He did not even hesitate that to accept himself beaten on such big market only for his devotee. The Lord does not hesitate to be the charioteer of his beloved devotee Arjun. The Lord did not hesitate to come and give witness for his devotee, that small Brahmin from Vidyanagar. The Lord did not hesitate to steal kheer for Madhavendra Puri. There is no hesitation in the Lord. When the love is too condensed, then there is no room for hesitation. So the devotee has the condensed form of love. So in the same way, the Lord also have the condensed form of love for his beloved devotee. That is the speciality. They both love each other in a way where it is free from all the boundaries, hesitations, everything, completely free. Love is beyond borders, and also it should be like infinite, unlimited. And when we bring some offenses, some wrong deeds, wrong behavior, the love becomes limited. So whatever is limited, it can't be taken as a pure love. So the Lord demands everything unconditional and complete. It should not be conditional. Love with condition is not love, it's just lust. There is no condition in love. So that's why what the Lord does, he could not tolerate it anymore, and finally what he did, he gave such punishment to Gopal Chakravarti. Haridas Thakur was a person of overflowing kindness. Why not, when a person is relishing the pure love of God, so naturally the quality of being kind appears within the personality. We will be kind only when we are blessed with the love of God. Then we think of others. Then we think of others naturally. Today we don't think of others, we become so selfish that we only think of ourselves. But no, a devotee doesn't think of himself. Devotee thinks of for everyone. Why? Because he is so kind. The kindness is overflowing from his heart. That's why a devotee always wishes everyone to be benefited. He doesn't limit his desire when he thinks of the benefit of the whole world. Vasudev Ghosh, one of the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is begging him that, "O my Lord, let the miseries and the pain of the whole world come to me and let the whole world be liberated. I am ready to accept everything." Like that. But a pure devotees are always there to give. But foolish people, because of their useless intelligence, they are not ready to take anything which is coming from the devotee, which is coming from those great souls, because they are so judgmental. That's why, because the devotee desires, the realized soul desires, let the whole world be liberated. Even if the Lord desires to liberate them, we are not ready to accept it, because we are judgmental. Our mind doesn't work. We keep on thinking 1,000 things. Why? And if someone really wants to do something, then also we think, why? Because of our attraction for Maya, the illusionary energy of the Lord, now brains are not functioning. Because of our attachment for all these objects of senses, our brains are not functioning. We keep on thinking those things which are not going to help us. What to do? That's human nature. It's not the nature, it's not something strange. It's human nature. What can be done? So that's why we are not liberated. If not, a pure devotee is always there. When a person, Brahmand Tarite Shakti Dhare Jane Jane, when we sing this, each and every devotee of the Lord is capable to deliver one Brahmanda. Where are we existing in this Brahmanda? Then why a devotee can't deliver the whole world? Devotee can deliver the whole world, he can deliver whole galaxy. But the biggest problem is the conditioned soul, those who are in this material world, doesn't want to come out of this place. They doesn't want to come out of this place. They are only happy in living in this material world. Like in Upakyan Upadesh also we can hear this, and also we heard few times from most revered Gurudev about this this story of swans. One time some nice swans, they call them as Rajahamsa, they all came down from Mansarovar. And then when they saw some swans are eating some earthworms and all of those things, then they felt so compassionate, and they decided that we take them to our place because we are from same family. And when they go to them and asking them, will you go with us? Those swans from this material world, they had a meeting and they finally wanted to know whatever is available here in this world, does all these things are available there? Then those Rajahamsas, those swans from Mansarovar, they said, no. Then what is available? Nectar is available. They said, we don't want to go. We don't want to go. And they remained there only. We have to understand, pure devotees have come to deliver us, to rescue us from our fallen condition. They want to take us back to Godhead. But conditioned soul, the one who is attached to Kanak Kamini Pratishta, desire for money, desire for opposite sex, and desire for name and fame, doesn't want to leave this material world at any cost. They just want to remain here. That's why even the pure devotee desires also, then also it's not happening. If not, we don't need to do any extra sadhana, no need to make any extra practice. If we can attract the mercy of a pure devotee, that itself is sufficient to rescue us. That itself is sufficient to liberate us. Because Vaishnavera Avedane Krishna Dayamoy. But at least we should have the desire to come out of this nonsense. When we have the desire, the prayers of the pure devotee are going to help us, and then the Lord will rescue us. Like that. So if we don't have the desire to come out of this material world, even if the God wants to rescue us, if a pure devotee desires, then also we will not be able to come out of this material world. Like that. That's why it is said, never commit Vaishnava Prad. When we are chanting the holy name, what is the point? Glorifying the holy name and then Nama Prad. In Padma Puran, Narad Goswami speaks about Nama Prad. When you are speaking about Nama Prad, what is the point? That Sadhu Ninda is considered as Nama Prad. Vaishnava Ninda is Nama Prad. Offending the Vaishnava is Nama Prad. Why? Because the Nam Prabhu is unable to tolerate the offense against the Vaishnava. Nam Prabhu, why he can't tolerate? Because he is residing in the heart of a devotee who is Namnishtha. One who is Namnishtha. The Lord, the holy name in Nam Prabhu form, he is residing in the heart of such devotee. When he is residing in the heart of a devotee, and then someone is making offenses against those devotees, then how the Lord can ever tolerate it? That's why those who want to chant the holy name, first thing they need to learn is not to offend a Vaishnava. That's totally wrong. Don't discriminate. Only surrender. If you surrender, you will have realization. If you discriminate, you will make an offense. Discrimination always creates problem. So without discrimination, we should learn to surrender in the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas. Because Vaishnavas are naturally, they are overflowing with kindness. So he was very soft and sympathetic kind of personality. So he is having so much of sympathy, and also is very soft, he is very compassionate. The news of the terrible calamity that befell Gopal Chakravarti, who considered himself to be the opponent of Srila Haridas Thakur, caused immense pain in his heart when he heard that this person had leprosy and he lost his beauty, he lost his charm. Now he is crying. Now he is suffering. When he got this news, it started to give so much of pain in his heart. Haridas Thakur is feeling so much of pain in his heart. What has happened? And now he could not remain there anymore. In this pain he could not remain anymore. So he just took leave from Balram Acharya and he left for Shantipur. From this place Chandpur, he left for Shantipur. Shantipur is the place of Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya used to live in Shantipur. So now he just took permission, and then he left that place and came to Shantipur. Then this unhappy incident in general and the discussion that took place between Haridas Thakur and Gopal Chakravarti in particular are of great significance. This unhappy incident, whatever this incident has happened, and also the discussion that took place between Haridas Thakur and Gopal Chakravarti, what it is, are of great significance. We can't just understand this as an instance. It's a very significant thing that what has happened. What is the significance? That always remember, never offend a personality. Never offend a personality. One who has firm faith and devotion in the holy name. So, you should not offend a devotee, because he is not a kind of person who is a platform speaker. What is he? He is completely different personality. One who speaks only what he realizes. So one who is fully devoted to the holy name is not an ordinary person. So that's why he understands the potencies, the potency of the holy name. He understands the glories of the holy name, especially in Sanatan Dharma, and those important points. And what it is said, the large assembly of learned people proved worthy of their learning by allowing Haridas Thakur to expound his views on particular scriptural text. These people, that they are learned, they are worthy learning. How it is proved? Because they allowed Srila Haridas Thakur to speak about the glories of holy name. Knowledge, that I possess knowledge, what is the proof? Then I should be the person who is ready to welcome, who is ready to appreciate the view which has superior ideology, which is superior, not inferior. So when I see what is superior and understand that following pure devotion is much superior, And whatever Vedic injunctions, whatever scriptures are there, everything is subordinate to the holy name. Understanding this point is most essential point. If we don't understand this, then it is going to create disbalance in our practice. Haridas Thakur is Namacharya. He is Namacharya. So he is the one who really practices what he speaks. He is only practicing what he is speaking. He is not practicing what he is not speaking. So what he is speaking about holy name, so he is practicing the holy name. So such a person who has chanted so much of holy name and became the Acharya of the holy name, such Namacharya is the personality who can glorify the holy name. Not everyone. What it is said, one very important point is being narrated here, that no one is fit to preach dharma who does not follow in his own life what he stands for. We don't fit to preach about the scriptures, about dharma, if we don't have it in our own life, if we don't follow it in our own life. Today on stage we speak about pure love of God, and tomorrow we have some cheap character, or maybe we abuse devotees, we go against devotees, we don't regard the holy name. Holy name is very important. We have to know about, understand about this holy name, because the pure treasure in the heart of a devotee is the holy name. What is the treasure? We can see Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami he has this touchstone. Sanatana Goswami has this touchstone which he gave to the Brahman called Jiban, who came from Varanasi, Benares, and then told him to leave. What is the touchstone does? When you touch the touchstone to a piece of iron, it transforms into gold. So it can make iron, it can convert iron into gold. See, what is the cost of iron? 1 kg of iron is hardly 50 rupees or 60 rupees. Or maybe it's a very good quality iron, then it is maybe 100 rupees per kg. And what is the cost of gold? For 100 rupees gold, even if we want to go and see the gold, then also 100 rupees is not sufficient. 1 gram of gold is costing nearly 3,000 to 4,000 rupees, where 1 kg of iron is costing maximum to maximum 100 rupees. Here 1 gram of gold is costing 3,000 rupees. So 10 grams of gold is 30,000 rupees. Imagine how much is 100 grams of gold, 3 lakh rupees. We can't imagine the cost. And this touchstone has the ability to convert the most useless metal into the most precious metal. Like that. So Sanatana Goswami, he has this touchstone. And when this person, Jivan, while going back to Kashi, Varanasi, he started thinking, what makes this person throw the most precious stone in garbage? Because to his surprise, when he came to Sanatana Goswami for this treasure, because he was sent by Lord Shiva, when he came to Sanatana Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami asks him to move that garbage a little, and when he moved it, to his surprise, he found the touchstone in the garbage. This person was amazed that how it is possible that someone can throw such precious stone in the garbage. Definitely he is the person who has something higher than this, something more precious than this. If you have some precious thing, then only you throw useless thing. Like that. If you have some new shirts and new clothes and new dhotis, of course it's natural, then immediately you prefer to give away the old ones or maybe to abandon them. Like that. We always prefer fresh, we always prefer superior thing, we always prefer the best. That is human nature. So as we have higher taste, we naturally give up the lower ones. We know this, that a person who has the desire, who likes to eat rasagulla, he is least interested in eating sugar cane. If you tell them you eat sugar cane, he will say no. A person who eats sugar cane, he likes to take condensed form of sugar cane. The one who likes condensed form of sugar cane, if he tastes good, jaggery, then he feels happy with that. One who eats it, you give him sugar, he feels happy. One who eats sugar, you give him mishri, he feels happy. And one who eats rasgulla, one who eats mishri, that sugar candy, you give him rasgulla, he feels happy. As the taste keep on increasing, then as the sweetness is increasing, the thing is differing, and then it's enhancing the sweetness. The person is also naturally losing his taste for the lower things, and he is only focusing on the higher thing. That's the nature. So that's why what happens here is this person started thinking, why would this Sanatana Goswami throw such precious stone in the garbage? Definitely he has something else. Then he goes back to him and he says, the most precious gem which you have, by which you found this touchstone to be an insignificant stone, I need that treasure, please bestow it to me. Because I know you are rich. Because Lord Shiva told me that you are rich. But what makes you so rich? That most precious gem which you possess, may I be benefited by getting it for myself. Sanatana Goswami asked this person, you just go and throw this in Jamuna and come, take bath and come. When he came, then Sanatana Goswami initiated him with the holy name of the Lord. With the holy name of the Lord. And also in the Purana it says, Nama Chintamani Krishna. Krishna is the name of the Lord, which is Chintamani. Chintamani means desire stone, a gem fulfilling, desire fulfilling gem. That's the speciality. So that's why the true treasure which is in the heart of a pure devotee is the holy name. So holy name is not just the holy name, it is mixed with his realizations, it's mixed with its emotions, it's mixed with devotion, everything. Because they don't see the holy name as just as a name, they see it as the Nam Prabhu, the Lord himself. The Lord himself. They don't see this just as a piece of stone or a word. They see it as a person. When they see it as a person, when they serve him as a person, then how it is possible for them to cheaply give it to anyone? It's not possible. When you have treasure, if someone asks you how much money you have, It's natural that we don't disclose the treasure we have. How much property you have, we don't disclose this. A pure devotee's property is the holy name. So that's why he doesn't give it in a very cheap way. Those who distribute the holy name in a very cheap way, considering it to be too cheap, they are only God knows. It's not about pointing to someone. It should not be taken in that way. It's an opinion. It's a kind of feeling. That's all. Vaishnavas are merciful. So there are many Vaishnavas who mercifully bestows the holy name to the people. When they see that the world is suffering, so they distribute the holy name. At the same time, there are the devotees who doesn't distribute the holy name so cheaply. This is what we have to understand. So it's not about pointing to someone. How the person takes it, it totally depends on that only. A devotee who is free from the influences of three modes of material nature, a devotee who is pure, a devotee who is kind, compassionate, loving, such person, such a devotee can't tolerate to see the world in pain. So out of compassion, he just distributes the holy name. But such a kind of persons, they are free from all kinds of enviousness. They are free from all other worldly afflictions. They are the pure souls, pure devotees of the Lord. They have faith in their spiritual master. They don't jump here and there. That not having faith in the spiritual master properly, not realizing the glory of the spiritual master properly, because it's possible in olden days also, in today also, that the spiritual master is little busy. So it's not so easy that we get all the time access with the spiritual master. Definitely we are under the shelter of some Siksha Gurus. But following the Siksha Guru, at one point when we come to this conclusion that I have no relation with my spiritual master, or maybe we may even declare it, or maybe deep inside the heart we don't pay attention to the spiritual master, and then we just follow other personalities instead of developing faith in the lotus feet of Sri Guru, the one who bestowed us the mantra, from where you received the mantra. And then when we try to preach, when we try to speak, it's not genuine. A true disciple has firm faith in Sri Guru. A true disciple has firm faith in the mantra he received from Sri Guru. A true disciple has firm faith in the Supreme Lord, and then surrenders in the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord under the shelter of Sri Guru, chanting the holy name, starts to realize the glories of the holy name within the heart, and then slowly it starts to overflow. The nectar which is manifesting in the heart, it starts to overflow. That overflowing nectar, wherever it reaches, and whoever drinks it, their life is transformed. So the life of the pure devotee itself is a preaching. He don't need to preach anyone separately. Only his own practice, his own sadhana, his own devotion in the lotus feet of the Lord itself is a preaching. Their compassion is a preaching, their love is a preaching, their chanting is a preaching, their speaking is a preaching, each and everything is a preaching. Such personalities have the right to distribute the holy name as they desire, like Ramanujacharya did. His spiritual master told him that this is the most confidential mantra, this should not be spoken louder or in front of anyone. The moment he received the mantra, he goes to the higher platform and then calling out all the people of the village and loudly recited this mantra. When this news came to his spiritual master, he was so happy and he said, because he is Ramanuj, so he can do this. He can do this because he is Ramanuj. He is not an ordinary person. One who is having enviousness in the heart, one who has no faith in his own spiritual masters, one who has taken the holy name so cheaply. Such persons, Haridas Thakur is not of that category personality. Haridas Thakur's life and soul is the holy name. So that's why what it happened, if a person offends such Vaishnava, then their life becomes disaster. Their life becomes disaster. So Haridas Thakur is the person, only person who fit to preach about dharma. Because he doesn't preach. Preaching is the byproduct of their own sadhana. A pure devotee doesn't preach, but the sadhana he does itself is a preaching. Like that. So here it stands, says, the one who doesn't follow in his own life, he is not fit to preach. That's why most revered Srila Guru Maharaj never told us to preach. I remember one time there was something happened. One Vaishnava was offended by me because in Europe, because I told him, you are quite an aged person, so you may take rest and we shall travel with other devotees this year. So we don't want you to travel too much. You can just stay here, because he is the one who is very often organizing tours for the Vaishnavas to travel in Europe. So that year in 2014 I told him that no, you please remain here, and then because this year I don't want you to travel to Europe along with me at least. In a humble way we approached him, but unfortunately it's my unfortunate thing that he got upset with me, offended. Then he started writing long mails to Madhusudan Maharaj, our god brother Pujpad Bhakti Prasoon Madhusudan Maharaj, and then saying so many things, and at one point he mentioned that Damodar Maharaj is unfit to be a world-class preacher. When this news came to me, I wrote to him very humbly, because he served our Gurudev also. I said, actually I am not a preacher first of all. I don't preach. It's not my job to preach. What I am doing, I am only visiting those places where those who invite me with love. Because most revered Srila Guru Maharaj told me that whoever invites you, wherever they invite you with love, you just go there. Of course, keep yourself in the association of devotees all the time. So when devotees are inviting, so definitely that's sure that they are inviting to the most safest place only. They are inviting in devotee community only. They are not that material people that someone out of love calls you and you go there. So it's an injunction, it's an instruction from Srila Gurudev that you should learn to respect the love given to you by the devotees. When you do that, in a way you are serving them. So following the instructions of Srila Guru Maharaj, those whoever invite me, I just go there with the mood that I am serving them. Simply by going there and singing Kirtan, if they are happy, they are satisfied, they are pleased, that what else can be the best practice of devotion in life? For a conditioned soul, it may appear like you are traveling in the aircrafts, you are going to Europe, you are going to here, you are doing there, and then receiving so much of respect. but that view is different. But the view of most revered Srila Gurudev is totally different. What's his view? You should learn to respect the love of the devotees. So they love you and then they invite you and ask you to perform Sankirtan. By going there and by performing Sankirtan, the devotees are pleased. When the devotees are pleased, it's natural that it has become part of your sadhana. And then Gurudev becomes merciful, the Lord becomes merciful, like that. So, there are very few personalities, those who preach, but mostly a devotee only practices. And wherever devotees invite such personalities, they go there and do the same thing. What they are practicing in the holy dham, same thing they practice in the other place. As a result, their sadhana is going constantly. It's only a matter of changing of place, and that depends on the desire of the devotees, that's all. And then keep doing bhajan. That bhajan is the one which put an impact on the life of others. Not the scriptures or not the way, not something else what we do in our life. It's the pure bhajan which we try to practice under the shelter of Guru Vaishnavas is the one which is going to rescue us, which is going to help us, which is going to put influence on the whole world, which is going to change the world at one point. That is the speciality. That's why it is said we have to practice. How we practice if we lose faith in the spiritual master? Not possible. Having faith in the words of the spiritual master, following the teachings given by him, chanting the holy name under his shelter, a person will one day definitely attain the loving devotional service of the divine couple in the eternal abode, Gaulok Vrindavan. So what it is said, every true preacher of dharma should live the principles he preaches. If we don't live on the principles we preach, then what is the point of such preaching? What is the point of such preaching? Like that. It's very important. Today this particular thing is hardly to be seen. It's hardly visible now. There are so much of literature, there is so much of literature, huge amount of literature to read and to listen and keep on listening, but in the name of practice, nothing is happening. For preaching, there is huge content, but for practicing, there is nothing. So here, we should have huge content to practice, very less to preach. That practice has to preach rest. Like that. What? The teachings of the Shastras has to be fully manifest in each and every action the person performs in his day-to-day life. In his day-to-day life, we have to see the scriptures. We don't need to read the scriptures. When we see the person, we are reading the scriptures. We only read the scriptures to understand, but practical realization of those scriptures are possible only when we see such a class of pure devotee. One time I got the chance to read Ujjwal Neelamani, and to my surprise, because we don't have Harikathas on Ujjwal Neelamani, it's not recommended, first of all, for an ordinary person. One Kartik, I got the chance to read the book, and I was so surprised, because I feel myself familiar with the book. Why? because when I am reading the book, I could constantly feel that I am reading the life of Srila Guru Maharaj. I said this in few places. But the thing is, Gurudev never spoke on Ujjwal Nilmani, but his life clearly says that he lived on Ujjwal Nilmani. That is the speciality. The Shastras have to manifest in the form of a devotee. When we see the devotee means we understood the Shastras. We don't need to read the Shastras separately. The life of the devotee itself is a Shastra. Whatever is mentioned in the Shastras, that can be seen very clearly in the life of a pure devotee. That is the speciality. In other words, an Acharya can be understood as the living embodiment of all these Shastras in front of us. That's why he is Acharya. What he does, Acharyam Acharoti Shastram, he practices whatever is in the scriptures by taking absolute shelter in the lotus feet of the holy name. Like that. As such, he is the proper authority to explain the texts of the Shastras, the real significance of which is realized by him. Like that. A person can be Stotriya, but Brahmanist is more important. This Acharya, the one who is Brahmanist, such Acharyas, what is happening? Those Acharyas, those who are Brahmanist, what they are doing, whatever they are speaking, they are the authorities to whatever they are speaking, because whatever they explain is not just a mere worldly explanation. It is the practical explanation, because it totally depends on their own realization. So Haridas Thakur, he is that category of devotee, the one who has realized everything, the one who has attained everything. Thank you very much. Rest of the Harikatha we shall discuss tomorrow. In short, I have to say that a person who doesn't have full faith in the holy name, a person who doesn't have full faith in the words of the sadhus, mainly the most revered Srila Gurudev, a disciple, a sadhu, he has to have firm faith in the words of his Guru from whom he has received the mantra, and then follow his teachings under the shelter of Vaishnavas and chant the holy name. Then only the realization comes. Such personalities are entitled to be addressed as an Acharya, because they are not preachers, they are the true disciples, true followers, and true genuine teachers. They are beyond organizations, they are beyond any kind of sectarian feelings. Further we shall discuss tomorrow. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.